Recording. Okay. Hello. Welcome to our movie club. Today we are going to discuss a movie, Under Siege, 1992, and a few more things. So, a person, Steven Seagal in particular, right, Leila?
Yes.
And maybe we can discuss a bit about martial arts and because Steven Seagal is like a recognizable person of who demonstrate martial arts, but I heard a lot of critics of his style and of his real fights. So some people say that he's a fighter for movies, not for real life, because they say he does not have real fights. I'm not sure. I don't understand. I'm not an expert.
I've seen videos of competitions he's been in. I mean, Aikido is a real art, and he's a real champion. But it's not a punching kind of fight like people think. It's almost like you're just playing with the other people.
Okay, so let me make an experiment. A small detail. Teacher Lee shared a nice synopsis. Is it right? Synopsis, and I think this synopsis is much better than we can do. So what about to read it a bit, paragraph by paragraph, and maybe to discuss something, to correct some pronunciation errors or something like this? What do you think? Will it work?
Yeah.
Okay, I can share text like screen share if you can read it, or I can send link. Or we have this text in our Telegram chat if you want.
I think it's easier on Telegram.
Yeah, so choose one which is more comfortable for you. The most comfortable one. Okay, I did not make my exercise for tongue today. Okay, Vova, could you please start reading one paragraph, please? Well, you probably muted. We don't hear you.
The film begins with the American battleship USS Missouri. BB
63.
63 arriving at Pearl Harbor, where President George Bush makes a speech announcing that after the Missouri's long-time service, the ship will be decommissioned,
right?
Yeah.
Removed from active service in California, making the trip her final voyage.
Okay, let's stop here. So, what do you know from this? So this ship is serving for U.S. Navy for long, right? So, and it's the last task, last journey. So they, I don't know, but is it trying to say why president? Is it so? President of USA for me is a big person, right? A big boss. So is every ship is decommissioned by president usually?
I don't think so. This ship in particular is very famous. The USS Missouri is a battleship. It was in World War II. It sailed to Japan, and the surrender of Japan was actually conducted on board this ship.
I see.
The emperor came on board this ship, and the presidents and the emperor and all these people signed the surrender on board the USS Missouri. So it's a very famous ship for that reason.
So it's not just a ship, not just another destroyer. It's just a piece of history, right?
Exactly.
Good. I understand. Leila, would you like to continue? To read something?
I love the way you're asking, Leila. Okay. Casey Ryback, a chief petty officer assigned as cook, is preparing meals in celebration of the birthday of Captain Adams against the orders of his adversarial executive officer, Commander Krill, who is having food and entertainment brought from Hawaii by helicopter after they have set out to sea.
I like the word adversarial. Is it right? So it means like what is another way to say it, Leila? What do you think?
I think it has to be somebody against, right?
I remember a word nemesis or something. Is it the same, teacher Lee? Nemesis?
Yeah, opponents, teacher Lee.
Basically. Nemesis is a little stronger, but same idea. It's your opponent. They're against you. Yeah.
I see. So, Leila, do you remember why Casey Ryback and executive officer Commander Krill, why they are on different boats? Why they are nemesis for each other?
I don't remember. Maybe, time passes, I could remember the film.
Maybe it's not. I think it was not covered in the movie, but as I got it, it's because the Casey Ryback is kind of a favorite of Captain, right? He's a special guy, so he must be under the order of executive officer, but in fact he's not. He's obeyed directly to the captain, so it makes some sense, I guess.
Okay.
Could you please continue?
Sure.
We have a lot of text today, Leila. So we can do it like slowly. We can discuss everything. We can find words that interest us. So there is no rush.
Okay. Krill provokes a brawl in the galley. Teacher Lee, what does it mean, a brawl?
A roll, right?
A fight.
Oh, all right, thanks. With Ryback, who assaults Krill, unable to imprison him in the brig without clearance from the captain or attracting attention. Krill detains Ryback in a freezer and places a Marine, Private Nash, on guard to prevent Ryback from leaving. A CH-46 helicopter lands on the ship's deck with a musical band along with Playboy Playmate, this July 89, Jordan Tate and a group of caterers who are really a band of mercenaries led by ex-CIA operative Bill Stranix.
Well, I like this text. I don't think I would write this in this way. So it's
he's really good at writing, right? Teacher Lee is good. Teacher Lee is a good teacher. Wow.
What is interesting in this? What's the word for this? Bring my attention or something. So what catch my eyes in this text? So first one is a clearance from the captain. So probably if you put someone in the prison, you have to get a permission from captain for every case, right?
Yeah.
I see. Interesting. Another thing, I remember this Miss July 89 in the movie. It was interesting that she was introduced herself and she said, not hello, I'm Jana or hello, I'm Susie. No, she said, hello, I'm Miss July 89. It's interesting. Yeah.
I was going to ask this. Krill detains Ryback in a freezer. How could it be possible?
Don't you remember in the movie? They had a huge refrigerator in the, how we call this, cockpit? No, it's not cockpit. It's a galley, right? So,
yeah, ships have a room-sized refrigerator.
Okay.
It's a big room. You've seen movies with the big rooms where meat is hanging on a hook inside of a cold room.
Right.
That's what we're talking about. They put him in a big room with the insulated door and walls that was cold inside. Of course, if they leave him inside for a long time, he'll die. but this
Of
was like temporary. Yeah.
Of course.
But probably he was supposed to die, right? I guess they were not about to free him. Yeah. So speaking about this Miss July, teacher, do you know who was Miss August of 47?
Yeah, we don't know any of those people. They give them the month name, but we don't. Nobody knows their names, to my knowledge. I don't know.
It's so strange. But maybe for young soldiers, maybe they are recognizable, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Not for us.
yeah.
Okay. Group of caterers who are really a band of mercenaries. So it's a nice caterers. So it's all together, right? It's a waiters, it's cooks. They bring some food, I guess. So it's like good.
Yeah. And it's usually a little bit expensive because you're paying for all these people to come to your location, bring all the food. Sometimes they cook it there, or it may already be cooked. They serve it.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty fancy operation to fly them in from, Hawaii.
It was suspicious from the very beginning, right, teacher Lee? Who will do this? So I cannot imagine. We have a lot of delivery service, but if I'm in army, a soldier, I can't use them, right? No one will deliver food for me. And why I need this? Because we have like own military catering, full service. So why I need this? Strange.
Yeah, a little strange. Yeah.
Jean, could you please make a next paragraph?
Okay. Shortly after the party begins, Stranix, posing as the band leader, Bad Billy and the bail jumpers, pulls out a gun and kills Commander Green, the highest ranking officer in the room. Then all the caterers and band members pull out weapons to seize control of the ship with the help of Commander Creel, who is revealed to be a turncoat. Several of the officers are killed during the takeover, including Captain Adams, who is shot point blank by Creel. The rest of the ship's company are imprisoned below decks in the forecastle, except for several strugglers in secure areas.
Anything that caught your attention here?
Caterers? How do you pronounce this word? Caterers?
Caterer.
Okay.
Caterer. Well, I like many things here. I like to be a turncoat. So it's a new usage to me.
Turncoat comes from the old American Revolutionary War, when the British wore red coats and the Americans wore blue coats. And the idea is that if you take your blue coat and take it off and turn it inside out, it's red on the other side. So now you put it on, you've got a red coat instead of a blue coat. So a turncoat is a traitor.
Yes, very convenient, I would say. So what I like, seize control. It's a nice user to seize control of the ship or hijack, right, a ship or something else.
Yep.
And I like the name of the gang, Bad Billy and the Bail Jumpers. So it's kind of suspicious as well, right? Bad Billy.
Yeah. A bail jumper is a person that's supposed to stay in town and go to court, and he runs away. He goes to a different city or leaves the country. So a bail jumper is a potential criminal that has escaped without permission or left without permission.
It's funny. So these people, this Bad Billy Stranix, right? He has some humor, right? He has some humor in the naming, in the whole operation, and I like it the way how he communicated with the generals, this boardroom. So it was funny. Yeah. Yes, Jart?
Yes, there's Tommy Lee Jones, the singer, remind me the singer Lou Reed, because this singer used to wear a black leather jacket and also sunglasses. Do you know Lou Reed, teacher Lee? No?
I'm not.
Very famous singer.
Sure.
It's that.
But if you've watched Men in Black and The Fugitive, you can see that Tommy Lee Jones has his own style of acting and dry humor. He makes jokes and never smiles. That's his funny style.
Yeah. Vova, could you please read next one? Or just start, I will help you.
Ryback.
Well, we finished in the Stranix, intent to steal.
Stanix
Intents.
intends to steal the ship arsenal of nuclear Tomahawk cruise missiles and plans to sell the
Nuclear?
nuclear weapons on the black market by unloading them onto a submarine Stanix stole from North Korea while on his final SEA mission, which he then kept for himself to use for private arms trading. When the SEA tried to
Assassinate.
assassinate him.
Very good, very good. So it's a sentence, 2 blocks long.
Yeah.
So how you pronounce missiles?
Missiles, I think.
Well, American English, we say missile. British English, they say missile.
Missile. Okay, let's stand American English for a moment. So nuclear Tomahawk. Tomahawk, it's as far as I remember, it's a huge rocket missile that can be like with artificial intellect almost, right? So it can be pointed somewhere. Yeah.
We pronounce it tomahawk.
Tomahawk.
A hawk is a bird, right? A bird of prey, a hawk. Tomahawk is an old name. The American Indians in our cowboy days, the Indians had a hatchet, and that was called a tomahawk. That's what the Indians called a hatchet. They called it their tomahawk. So this nuclear missile was named Tomahawk because it's a weapon of war. What's unique about the Tomahawk is that it doesn't go up in the air like a regular missile. It goes just above the ground. It flies about 10 feet above the water or above the ground. So radar can't detect it.
It's impossible to use anti-air, right?
Right. So it will follow the contour of the ground. If the ground's got a hump, it'll kind of go like this. It'll follow the contour of the ground until it gets to its target. So it's unique.
Well, this sentence is very, very, very funny. So it's, Vova, do you understand what is black market? Vova?
Yes.
What is this?
Is not illegal market.
Yeah. So if you want to buy something illegal, a gun, a bullet, I don't know, something else, you go to the black market, right? So Stranix try to say nuclear weapon. So it's a catastrophe, right? Catastrophe. How you pronounce it? Catastrophe. Catastrophe. Wow, very good. Teacher Lee, after a few years, I will. I first say it incorrectly, but then I recall that you already fixed my pronunciation 5 times already.
You're getting better.
Yeah. So and another thing that I like that he just stole a submarine from North Korea. So it's just so simple. For me, even if you stole a submarine, you need a crew, right? You need some petrol, I don't know, oil, some diesel to make it work. So it looks like a hard operation to me.
They must have killed the crew, I guess, and put their own people on there. I don't know how you would do that.
I remember that in the movie, these people on the submarine, they speak Italian or something. So they will something not North Korean people. Okay, let me help with this paragraph. Stranix and his men take over the ship's weapon system for defense, shooting down on FA. How we pronounce usually this?
FA-18.
FA-18 Hornet, sent to investigate and plan on uncovering the escape by launching a missile strike into Honolulu that will obliterate tracking system in Pearl Harbor. Leila, do you know what is Honolulu? Where is this? Where it is?
No, I don't know.
I had to watch I have to take a look on the map. It was in Hawaii. so
Really?
not far away.
It's
You
very
would like
famous.
to go to Hawaii, Ivan.
Honolulu is the most famous tourist attraction or famous city in Hawaii. It has beautiful beaches, large, lush hotels overlooking the ocean, very expensive. When you arrive in the airport, beautiful women in grass skirts and bikini tops will put a lei of flowers around your neck. It's fancy.
Aloha, aloha.
Aloha! That's right.
And I cannot help but have to ask Leila, do you know where is Pearl Harbor located?
Um,
And why it's famous, Leila?
no, I know that Pearl Harbor, Americans base, and it was attacked, right?
Yep.
Let me think.
Okay, first clue, it's not in America.
I know it was a base, and
Yeah.
Chinese. No,
Pearl Harbor is very famous. It's a
I
Navy
know,
base. It's a Navy base in Hawaii.
Mhm.
And that's where
Okay.
Japan
After,
attacked
right.
us.
yes.
Yeah.
After the nuclear bomb events, they wanted to take range and ambush Pearl Harbor, right? In an unexpected way.
No, it was different. So, attack on Pearl Harbor is very famous attack. How Japan started the war with US.
Okay,
Right?
and then yes. Now I got it right. I remember. And then they dropped the nuclear bomb. Right.
Not like then, like after a few years, after after a war, actually. So the nuclear attack was like final accord in this
But a
war.
lot of young people and Americans were killed in Pearl Harbor, right?
Yeah, a lot of Americans, and
Yeah.
ships sank,
Right.
It was a Sunday, and all of us were in church praying. And then the Japanese suddenly came in and bombed everything and killed a lot of people. We were extremely angry.
There are, Leila, if you're interested in history, there are a lot of conspiracy theory about this act. So we have to mention this. Vasanth, please, your question and hello.
Oh yeah, hello. Usually, Honolulu is it famous for car racing? Because I got to know about that name in car racing games, video games.
Not that I know of. Not Honolulu. No. Yeah. Now there was a TV show called Hawaii 5-0 that was about Hawaii's police force, elite police force. They were called Hawaii 5-0, and that was a TV series.
Well, I'm laughing because in my mind, Hawaii is a small island or something. So I expected there will be two policemen at all. Not that small.
Relatively small in size, yeah.
Because it's
no
There
room
are
for it.
other islands there as well, right?
Yeah, but they get smaller and smaller. It's an archipelago.
Okay.
Vasanth, we are reading this text with this synopsis one by one, by paragraphs. So there is no rush. Read it at your favorite pace. We can stop, discuss something, find some vocabulary. So that's the idea. So next one is for you, please.
Okay. Ryback has become suspicious upon hearing gunfire and tells Private Nash to contact the ship's bridge. An annoyed Krill realizes they forgot about Ryback in the freezer and learns the kitchen is an unsecured area on the ship. Krill lies to Private Nash that the noises were not gunshots, but party poppers before Stranix offhandedly sends mercenaries, Gates, and Ziggs to eliminate Ryback and Nash.
Yeah. Vasanth, what is party poppers?
I know that. When you twist it in the bottom, it blows out. No?
It blows. And sometimes it's long straps, right? We call them spaghetti. Usually, what about you? How you call them?
The paper strings is called confetti.
Yeah, confetti is small and like bubble, right? Like circles, not? Confetti.
No, confetti is usually like spaghetti.
Okay, I see.
Paper spaghetti, yeah. Streamers, but poppers are usually a small thing with a string, and you pull the string, and it's like a firecracker. It goes.
But it's safe more or less. So when I was a child, it was allowed for me to shoot it, and it was a a pleasure for me. I waited for New Year only for this reason. What else? Do you use them in your celebrations?
Yes, usually the birthday parties nowadays people are getting used to it. But initially, when it was introduced at that time, we didn't know how to operate it. One of my friends folded it upside down and twisted it. Yeah, all his shirt was filled with papers.
Yeah. Once I had a friend, when I was young, I had a friend who shot in his own eye and got some small burn or something, but everything went okay after this, so he recovered, but it was like a big deal for all of us. We were so scared that we will never be allowed to use that again. Okay. Vasanth, please continue.
Nash is killed, but Ryback escapes and kills Gates by throwing a knife at him and strangles Ziggs, then plants a bomb in the microwave to go off later. He proceeds to cause havoc amongst the perpetrators and begins killing off the terrorists with the limited help of Jordan Tate, who was only hired as a cover for the festivities.
Let me stop you here. So, what do you think about limited help of Jordan Tate? So, what was the most part of it? What was the help about? How would you describe it?
Just to keep the audience relaxed. We call it in the magic shows. How do we say that? The beautiful assistant. Is that right? A pretty assistant, yeah.
Yeah, every magician has a beauty assistant to distract people, right? So Leila, are we right, or we are just being sexist? What do you think?
No. I was just trying to understand the plot because I haven't watched the film. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to listen to you, and I can say, man or man.
Okay, thank you. So I consider it like a positive comment. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, but in really, actually, she did nothing, right? She shoot one time in the final, as far as I remember. But during the whole movie, she was just a candy for our eyes. So that's all. And it was very typical for the movies of that epoch, I would say. So do you remember these movies with Jackie Chan? Or something. She always had a girl around him whose job was just, scream and be scared. Vasanth, please.
Yes, we usually call it as a dead weight. It has no purpose. He has to drag it along wherever he goes. What if something happens to her? It's just, he has to protect her as well. Himself.
also she plays an important role to show us how powerful is our hero, right? So at one point, Leila, I will tell you, at one point, Ryback, the main hero, tried to put this girl in a safe place, right? Some safe place. And she said, no, I will not stay there. The safest place in the ship is around you.
Wow. What a woman.
I like this. Gerard, would you please continue?
Yeah, but you must say one thing, Ivan. Steven Seagal wanted to hide her inside a locker. Can you imagine? Inside a poor woman. Nowadays, the feminists would be outraged.
You are right. First case was in a locker, yes, but another.
Locker.
Yeah, but another there was another case with when they freed part of the team, part of the crew, and he was trying to get rid of her. Okay, we stopped that. Ryback also gets in contact.
Ryback also gets in contact with Admiral Bates at the Pentagon by using a satellite phone, whereupon the Navy then makes a plan to send a SEAL team to retake the ship. Creel discovers that Ryback is really a chief petty officer and former Navy SEAL with extensive special weapons and counterterrorism training. He was relegated to his current posting for striking his superior officer who had been responsible for his men being killed in a botched commando mission during the United States invasion of Panama. As a result, he had lost his security clearance and was only able to serve as a human or a cook.
Actually, what is a human? Or it's just a typo?
Yeoman is a position in the military normally held by Filipinos. And it's like a personal, he's the CO's personal servant.
Mm-hmm.
He can type up letters and he serves food in the wardroom at dinner times. So he's a personal assistant / waiter for the officers and the CO's personal assistant.
I see. Well, I found this fact kind of not plausible. I cannot imagine that a real person, an officer, a commando will serve like a cook just because he lost his security access or something. I will say bye-bye, right? I'm not on the service at all.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. What about chief petty officer? So it's a new name for me. Petty officer, it's like caterer service.
The Navy ranking system, some of the enlisted ranks, as you get up from, you start at the bottom, recruit, seaman, and as you go up, you become petty means little.
I see.
So you become a third class petty officer, then a second class petty officer, then a first class petty officer, and then a chief petty officer. And there's about 4 levels of chief petty officers. There's first is master chief and some other ranks. But even though we call them petty officers, they're not really officers. They're still enlisted people.
I see. So now if I read petty officer, I understand that it's above admiral, not under the admiral.
Under an ensign, under the lowest officer. Yeah, they're not officers at all. Yeah.
Gerard, have you... Yes,
one thing. Mm-hmm. Star Trek, the blonde girl, I think is Janice. She's a human.
She was a yeoman. Yep. She was a personal assistant clerk to Kirk. Yeah.
So nowadays, to be fair, you should say your woman.
Ivan.
Yeah.
If I had asked the other, the other crew's names,
yes,
Gerard can't remember.
Well, you may find it interesting that the we freed the Philippines. We owned the Philippines at one time, and we gave them independence. At that time, they loved the U.S. so much that they asked for us to give them independence on July 4th.
I see.
They wanted the same day as we had for their Freedom Day.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them were patriotic and wanted to serve in the Navy, but they weren't U.S. citizens. So the Navy allowed them only to serve as yeomen. So in the Navy, most yeomen are Filipinos because that's the only position they can have and serve in the military to help America. So on my submarine, we had a Filipino yeoman.
I see.
And you know that Philippines were part of the Spanish Empire
Yep.
before the Americans free them.
Yep.
Spanish, really? Okay.
Yes,
But-
and now the Filipinos don't like either Spaniards, either Americans.
Yeah, they've embraced China now.
Leila, what do you know about Philippines? Teach us something.
I have met one or two Philippines. They are I think they're insecure. They feel a bit insecure, and they're very modest, and they're ready to do everything you want them to do if you are the boss. And I don't know. I mean,
Well, the only thing I know about Philippines, so if in Moscow you want a babysitter or a nanny with English, so English-speaking babysitter, 99% it will be from Philippines. So it's what we see here.
It was a very poor country after World
Yeah.
War II. Most of the women had to become prostitutes just to buy food for the family. So they've had a hard time.
Yeah.
I feel so sorry for them, In Rome, I have seen some, and they are doing the housework.
Yeah, teacher Lee shared once in our chat that it's still strange that in 29th century, your destiny like almost defined by the place where you're born, right? So we still have
Yeah.
this. It's like impossible to believe, but it's still here. Okay, Gerard, have you heard about SEAL team? How we pronounce
Yes,
it?
they, an elite part of the army, of the American army. Expert
Navy. SEALs are Navy.
Navy.
The animal, the SEAL animal, Navy SEALs. They're good in the water.
Good in the water, yeah, very, very nice. Okay, Leila, would you please read the next one? To keep the missile.
Okay. To keep the missile shaft plan in place, Krill decides to activate the fire sprinkles in the forecastle, leaving the crew members to drone and the terrorists to set up an ambush when Ryback arrives, presumably by himself to save them.
Yeah. So you haven't watched it, but so he just cold-heartedly, right? Is it the word? Cold-heartedly tried to kill the whole crew, So, and when other terrorists were shocked by this, they say, why do you do it? Why you are going to kill them? He said, they don't love me anymore anyway. So something like this.
Oh,
Yeah, terrible. So it was to understand, Leila, it was like how we call the device that we used to find the mouse. I forgot. To catch the mouse. So you put
Mousetrap.
mouse trap. So you put some cheese here, right, and you wait. It was the same. Yeah. So they put a crew in danger and waited when Ryback arrives to kill him. That's the idea.
wow.
Now, on Navy ships, the ship is divided into rooms called compartments, and they have big steel doors with a hand wheel that you can close and make the door watertight. So the crew were locked in a compartment with these doors closed, and if you turn on the sprinkler system and spray water into the room and you never turn it off, the room will fill up with water and they'll all drown and die.
Yeah.
So he was basically going to drown the crew in a sealed compartment using the sprinkler system.
Yeah.
Teacher Lee, was it water, drinkable or seawater? What do you think?
Gerard, my idea it must be like fresh water, not seawater, because seawater is bad for conduits, bad for small pipes, for everything. So you have to clear after seawater.
But
Yeah,
Mhm.
we didn't have sprinklers on my submarine, so I don't know. Our submarine was so small, we didn't need sprinklers. We had people there with fire extinguishers, but on a ship, I don't know. I would use, yeah, seawater makes more sense because fresh water is usually a limited resource. But Yvonne has a good point. That would tend to make the pipes and valves corrode more often. And if a sprinkler system rusts and can't open, it won't do you any good. So fresh water sounds reasonable.
Yeah, ships are huge, right? Few tons of water change nothing, I guess, in my opinion.
Submarines, we have smaller water tanks, but a surface ship, they can have a bigger tank. Yeah.
Leila, could you please continue?
Yes, sure. However, Ryback locates a group of sailors in hiding and along with them engages a successful counter-strike, turning off the sprinkles, dosing the crew, and eliminating a considerable number of Stronix's forces. As Stronix's men regroup, Ryback shuts down the Missouri's weapon systems in order to allow the incoming Navy SEAL team to land.
Yeah. I like the verb dosing the crew.
Getting wet, teacher Lee?
Douse. Yeah, dousing is dumping water on top of them. Yeah.
Right.
Nice. I never seen it before. Okay, so he saved people and created conditions for Navy SEALs. Vova, could you please continue? As the battle? Vova, you probably muted or something. We don't hear you.
As the battle for the ship continues, the submarine crew shoots down both the
CH, I guess.
CH
46.
46 helicopter
Mhm.
carrying the Navy SEAL team with shoulder-fired surface-to-air missiles.
Mhm.
The Pentagon responds by ordering an airstrike that will sink the Missouri and all aboard. Stronix regains control of the ship's weapon systems, and the Tomahawks are loaded onto the North Korean submarine, depositing with crew on board.
Okay, let's stop here. So, what is Pentagon? Do you know?
Pentagon.
Have you heard before? So, Pentagon is a kind of a building where all the generals sit in the US. So, it's a place for high-ranked officers, let's say so. So, a brain for the army, I would say.
Okay, the Pentagon is actually our joint forces. It has Army, Navy, Air Force lead commanders, all of those in the Pentagon. So it's our combined military headquarters.
And speaking about this shoulder-fired surface-to-air missiles, we all know them from Afghan war, right? When the USR invaded there, Americans provided these devices to Taliban, and we started it started like a new confrontation, because before that our pilots were safe. We had like domination, and it changed the whole game. I remember this because it was a really game changer at that time. So it changes the whole history, probably.
Yeah, the original one was called the Laws rocket, LAWS, Laws rocket. It's about this long. It's not real big. And it's basically a disposable one-shot bazooka. It shoots a rocket. It can shoot it up into the air and hit an airplane. It's one shot, and you throw it away and get another one.
Yeah. Simple to use with navigation system, so you don't have to calculate where the airplane will be in 5 minutes or something. So you just point it, shoot it, done.
Yeah.
And what about bazooka? What kind of weapon is it?
Bazooka's a little different. It's metal. I don't know what the Laws rocket is. It's kind of light, so it may be aluminum. I don't know what it's made of, but a bazooka is big and heavy. It's longer. A bazooka might be 6 feet long,
Wow.
and you can it's reloadable. You push a missile in the back, kind of like a cannon on your shoulder. You put a little rocket missile in the back. The bazooka missile's about 12 to 18 inches long, and then you shoot it.
Yeah.
The longer barrel gives it more accuracy. And after you shoot, the guy just pushes another one in the back and you can shoot again. So somebody loads, hits your head, you shoot. They load, tap your head, you shoot.
As far as I understand, Leila, the difference is, in a real cannon, you have a pipe, right? Pipe for projectile, and you have how we call this usually, the metal that close this pipe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, you have some blast and projectile fly. But in bazooka and other systems, it's just a pipe because your projectile has own engine. So you use pipe to point it somewhere, but you don't need to have this blast. You don't have inertia and all this thing. That's the difference.
I'm going to check the pictures of it on the net, right?
Yeah. It will be probably easy.
And
Okay,
what difference with an RPG? An RPG something similar.
It's the same, actually, just made by Soviets, and then the same. And costs nothing, as always. Yeah, I don't know why, but in Soviet army, when I was there, we always compare, so Americans has this, and it cost 1,000, I don't know, millions. And we have this, and it costs $3. Always think about efficiency. It's what I learned. Okay, regains, nice word in this paragraph. I like this. So regains, you lost, you give, you like you got something, you lost it, and you regain it back. It's interesting, yeah. Okay, let me finish the paragraph. With the aid of Jordan and his fellow sailors, Ryback uses the battleship's guns, which were not yet decommissioned, to sink the submarine with Krill still inside, killing him and everyone on the board. So, so at least half of terrorists are gone, right? So no more. Must save. Okay, whose turn? I forgot. Leila or Vasanth?
Vasanth.
Vasanth, could you please continue?
Yes. Stranix, standing on the deck, suffers a major concussion from being in the proximity of the Missouri's guns as they are fired. He ordered the remaining mercenaries out of the control room as he launches 2 nuclear-tipped Tomahawks towards Honolulu. As the sailors recapture the ship, killing the last group of Stranix's men, Ryback finds his way into the control room where he is caught off guard and captured by Stranix. Stranix and Ryback realize they know each other from their past covert experiences, but Ryback is disgusted by Stranix's excuses for his behavior. Ryback states that both of them are disillusioned and were essentially used by their government, but Stranix says Ryback still believes in his country, whereas he does not. Ryback and Stranix then engage in a knife fight wherein Ryback kills Stranix by poking his eye out, stabbing him in the head with his knife, and finally smashing him through a computer monitor. Ryback then takes the launch codes needed to self-destruct the Tomahawk missiles. One of the 2 missiles is destroyed by an FA-18 Hornet, but the other continues on its course. The codes are dialed in and the Tomahawk missile is deactivated, blowing apart before it would have destroyed Honolulu. The Pentagon celebrates widely, then calls off the air assault on the Missouri.
Yeah, happy end, right? And I remember when this rocket was, when this Tomahawk was in the course, so everyone just, terrified. What to do? We are going to die. It's going to blow. And only Ryback, just, having this face without any emotions. Tell me the code, I will put it there.
But I have understood, Ivan,
Mhm.
Steven Seagal haven't showed his, talents in this film. Karate.
Yeah,
No?
yeah. Aikido or something, or karate, I don't know, some martial arts.
Aikido.
So he didn't do that, right, in this film?
He did it a lot, Leila, a lot.
So I must watch it.
But all the fights, if you ask me, they were like very similar. So he had never had like a decent opponent. So all the fights, I just take you like a small cat and I kill you in 1 second. That's all.
Ivan, believe me, nowadays what I need is to see bad people are losing.
Okay, you will see this in any American movie, in Hollywood movie. It's always happen. Okay, so what we can tell about Vasanth, please? Yeah, I missed.
Well, where did he stop?
Vasanth, do you like? Do you want to say something?
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to unmute. In all movies, the protagonist wait until for the last second to defusing a bomb or saving the country. There were just 2 wires in between before him. Just 2 colored wires, but he would wait for the last minute to cut one of them.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so there is one final paragraph about happy ending. I think we can skip it, right? We can better discuss something. So speaking about Stranniks, for me, this guy. Let me play Diablo advocate as always. So for me, this guy does not look like an idiot or something. Do you remember that CA actually tried to kill him, right? So what choice he had? So he had two choices, just to be killed by CA or to try to do something, right? So, and what he did actually, it's well planned and good, I don't know, good money. if he had a success, it will be a good money, a good life for him, and probably I don't know. Probably his experience is enough to hide after this. So to me, he is just a guy who is in hard circumstances doing what he can. What do you think, Leila? Is it?
Yeah. You tell me, because I haven't watched the film.
Okay. I forgot about this. So I can justify, I can justify Strannik's behavior in my eyes. If someone is going to kill me, I don't feel loyal anymore.
But you're right, Ivan. That's the logical thing. You can't wait to be killed.
And actually, he did not kill he did not kill civilians. He did not kill I don't know, kids or women. He went in the military ship and fight with soldiers. So morally, it's more or less fine to me. Vasanth, please.
Yeah, and it's more like it's like a backstabbing. He was working for them, but they are deceiving him. So it's reasonable.
Yeah. And it's interesting because every story, it's depends where you start to watch the story, right? So maybe he did something terrible before. Why CIA tried to kill him? Maybe he already made something terrible, but we don't know about this. Okay, so let me ask you something about the movie. Vova, what is your favorite moment in the movie? Which one do you like?
My favorite moment was when Ryback threw a knife.
Through a knife?
Yes.
Into what? Into a target or what?
Yes, in target.
On his kitchen, right?
When he escapes from the freezer, yeah.
Good one. Well, I like the moment when, like, you know, this lady, I forgot her name. She was like a, she was like a decoration on this celebration, and
Yeah.
she sat in the cake. It was a huge cake, and when music started, she just pop out and start to dance or something. But because the celebration was broken, you know, so it happened in a very inappropriate moment, right? So there was no celebration, and Ryback just walking around, and lady pop from the cake. It was funny for me. Vasanth, please.
Yeah, for the past few weeks, we have been watching submarine movies. So I thought this one is going to be like some sort of the inside the ship. So they are going to explain the struggles they are facing, something like that. But I didn't expect that he would shoot the higher official out
In
of
the
nowhere.
beginning.
Yeah, just like that. And the both of the both guys shot one of the crew members, and it was a shocking moment, you know. Then that's the moment I realized that okay, this is going to be something somewhere else. Something like that.
Yeah, the ship was just a setting, just an environment for the movie to happen in.
And you are right, it was a total surprise, you know, when they started to celebration, and who is the high-ranking officer here? Let's applaud him. It's me. Poof, you're done, you know. It's not, we don't have a high-ranking officer anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so teacher Lee wrote that he liked interaction between Nash and Ryback when he was in the freezer, right? Following orders with common sense. Yes, it's hard to choose, right? Some people follow orders because, you know, it's not my job to think, yeah, right? I was told to stay here, I stay here. That's all.
Think about it, Nash. Call the bridge. Something's wrong. No, he said nothing's wrong, sir. He said nothing's wrong. Oh, God.
Right.
Naive, you know. Nash is naive, you know.
Okay, Gerard, is there any moral or something?
No, I wanted to tell you my favorite moment when
Please.
when Ryback discussed with the general, you know, from the Pentagon. Eventually, the general says, "Okay, do whatever you want to do," because I think he asked him to wait for the Navy SEALs, and Ryback wanted to do something before.
So you have my indulge, right, teacher Lee? Can we say so? Indulge or indulge? There is a thing like in Middle Age, indulge in how to pronounce it? I don't know. Indulgence. Indulgence. So you have my indulgence, right? Because you are in these circumstances. So Admiral say, I support any your actions or something.
Yeah,
Nice.
You're on the scene. I can't stop you. Do what you feel needs to be done. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's have some slides then. Time is flying.
Pretty good. We got rockets. All right.
Yeah. I can see. I don't know. Vasanth, could you please describe what happens with siege? Is it a splash of water?
Broken thing, you know, the explosion,
okay.
and yeah.
I see. Someone shoot the siege, right? Good. Looks
Now,
good.
what a siege normally is? Siege is a medieval combat strategy where the enemy is in a strong walled city or walled fort, like the Kremlin's got the big wall around it.
Yep.
And you can't get to the enemy as long as they stay inside their wall. So what you do is you surround them with a big circle and you just wait until they run out of food and starve to death. So siege is when you take a place and you just hold it for a long time and nobody can get in and nobody can get out and the people inside starve. So in this case, they took the ship and they were under siege inside the ship rather than they were on the ship keeping everyone else out rather than outside the ship keeping everyone else in. So a little opposite, but siege means you capture it and you hold on to it as long as you can.
Yep, I see. Yeah, medieval term. Okay, let's start with this one. Gerard, could you please start?
I don't see anything.
Okay, no, I'm sharing.
I can see it, yeah.
I'm sharing picture with a helicopter and crew. Can you see it?
Now I can do. I can see
Mhm.
they were supposed to be a rock band. This is first we on the left side we can see the Playmate, July 1989, and Tommy Lee Jones. I think his name is Stranix. And other caterers and musicians, support musicians, people disguised, but actually they were pretty good musicians, so
Yeah, they
it
trained.
was plausible. The gig was plausible, believable.
So what strikes me is that, helicopter is small, right? So how many people can be there? No, I don't know, 20, maybe 30 at maximum. So small gang is able to capture the whole ship, the huge military ship with many soldiers inside. So it's kind of interesting.
Yes, in a moment of the movie.
Go ahead.
In a moment of the movie, they say the 30 people. So 50 people inside this helicopter. It doesn't look as much big.
Maybe they have 2 helicopters or something. But in general, disproportional amount of soldiers, of sailors, and like terrorists.
On a Navy ship, the sailors are not normally armed. No one has weapons on a ship. The weapons are locked up. So the crew had no weapons.
Yep.
So these guys with machine guns, they could easily overcome the whole crew. The weapons on the ship are kept in one location called the armory. So if you protect the armory, no one can get to any weapons.
I see.
So it's easier than you might think.
Yeah, and also they have a high-ranked officer, a traitor who helped them, right? So it was a clue, I guess. It was a key.
Yeah.
Okay, Leila, what do you think about this one?
Could be the kitchen.
Yeah, I
And
guess so.
I think I can see some garlic. Could be some aubergine, eggplants hanging on the wall, and I can see the chef and assistants, and I can see a big steel pot, and I can see bread on the left. Could be kind of pasta. What else? It's a messy kitchen, I think.
To me, it looks pretty neat. What do you think about the uniform? I like these caps, for instance.
Yeah, because they are Navy officers, maybe. They're using those. And I don't understand why these 2 guys are talking.
They just having fun, I guess, or making orders, Put garlic in your soup. Yes, sir.
Even he was holding the one in the middle, a kind of tray. But what is there on the tray?
I don't know. Ingredients, something.
It looks like maybe bread dough, like maybe a pizza or something. I'm not sure. Something he's going to put in an oven and bake.
Yeah, could be.
I think, yeah.
On the right, on the wall, we have 3 clocks or something. Do you think it's timers or something?
Probably gauges, maybe reading the temperature of the refrigerator or room temperature. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
There are a lot of hooks everywhere.
Well, there are many people on this ship, and you have to feed them all, right? 3 times a day, so it's a hard job, I guess.
Teacher Lee, what are these kind of boxes just on the wall, on the left? There's a kind of red signal on it.
Well, the Red Cross, that's first aid kit. That's a medical kit.
Okay, first aid kit, right.
The dark red meat, it looks like it might be meat, glazed meat, but I'm not sure.
I thought it could be aubergine.
Looks like a chili pepper to me. Right?
Peppers could be. Peppers. To the right of that might be garlic or onions. Is that garlic hanging in the middle, kind of? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a garlic, yeah. Yeah, good. Let's go to the next one. Vasanth, would you please?
Here is a guy, I forgot his name.
Commander Krill.
Yeah, Commander Krill is checking the kitchen, and he had no good opinion on Ryback, so he was complaining about him, and he just spitted in the food he was preparing. And, we can see a can, I think. Okay, we can see a can, and how do we say that? Is that a tablespoon or something like that?
Yeah, interesting. Big, I don't know, wooden, how we call it, shovel.
Cutting board.
We are talking about this on this how we call it, pan. On the top of it, it's a big wooden spoon, but it's not really spoon. It's something for mixing.
Yeah, you can call. What do we call that?
Spatula.
Patula.
Kind of like a spatula, but maybe spatula's okay. That one looks more like a scraper.
Scraper, yeah, looks like.
It's made to scrape something off the side of a pot, but I'm not sure. But it may be just a stirring spatula. Yeah.
Yeah, good. So there was a conflict between Krill and Ryback, and Krill went there just to
make trouble.
Make trouble, yeah, just to spit in your food, just to create a problem, right? Okay, another one. Let me describe this. So we see the moment of landing, and from this point of view, I can see that helicopter actually it's a pretty big one. Gerard, can you see?
Yeah.
From inside, it was smaller, much smaller than from this side, and it has 2 engines, right? 2 propellers. So it's a transport helicopter or something. Okay, a lot of people there, so sailors who are happy to have Miss Yul on board, Miss July on board. And what else? Caterers, officers, right? And I can see a big reel maybe with a I don't know, with a rope. It's not a rope actually, metal rope.
Might be steel cable.
Steel cable, yeah. Probably to move something, I guess. What else?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Battle, we call it battleship gray paint.
Paint. What's interesting for me on this picture that officers they don't look neat. In Soviet army we always demand all the officers and all the soldiers they always look like on a parade. All the buttons should be closed or how we call it tight. And this one, Captain Krill, looks relaxed.
Yeah, he's wearing a little jacket over the top of his uniform. Yeah.
Okay, what I missed? Nothing. Okay, let's go. This one. Whoa, what is happening on? Could you please tell us?
The Commander Krill is dancing.
He's dancing. So this lady is Captain Krill, not Captain, Officer Krill actually.
Yes.
Okay. What else?
And in the right.
On the right?
On the right is the musicians.
Yeah, rock band. What do they have as musical instruments?
Saxophone. Guitar.
Guitar on the left, right? Guitar. Okay. What are soldiers doing?
Also dancing.
Dancing as well, yeah. Okay, what can we add to this picture? So I cannot imagine a Russian army officer dressed like this, even for joke, So how he is going to recover the reputation after?
It makes you think he's a little bit mentally off balance. Yeah. I had a cringy feeling when I saw that. I was like, oh, something wrong with that guy.
Yeah. On the sailing, we can see 4 different lamps, 4 different colors. So it's kind of a for color music. I don't know, is it delivered by helicopter or it's for, I don't know, for concerts on the ship? Hard to
Yeah,
say.
that's not normally there. They may have brought their own colored lights for the disco effect. I don't know.
Well, it's interesting because they started mutiny, they started attack immediately, right? After the beginning. So why they need so good legend, right? Why they need all these decorations and why they started with songs? So they actually rehearsed the song, right? They knew how to make it, how to make a show. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Gerard, it's this one for you.
So here is Creel, Commander Creel, disguised of a woman without the wig, and pointing a pistol to the captain of the ship. And so the captain was waiting in his chamber, in his
room,
to the moment to go to the party, but instead Creel went visited him and killed him point blank.
Have you noticed this windows? Portholes, right?
Portholes.
Yeah.
So drapes, or I don't know, how do you call curtains?
Yeah.
How do you call, Teacher Lee, that curtains or drapes?
They're short, we call them curtains. Drapes are full length and go to the floor, usually. Yeah.
And there is a kind of, how we call it, kind of a thing to close this porthole, circle one, right?
Right. Portholes are always round and normally have a cover that you can close it and lock the cover closed to make it watertight in case there's a hurricane or something outside. Yeah.
So the room looks very neat, I would say. Wooden design, so pretty relaxing atmosphere, I would say. And
You
Captain,
like wooden design, right?
Yeah, somehow, yeah. And I remember that Captain was against the celebration. He was not a fan of celebration. He said, okay, when he was asked to sit in the room waiting for celebration, he was almost happy. He said, yes, I will in my room reading the book. So have fun.
Do you call the rooms of the ship cabins?
Well, most rooms are gray metal walls. Only the captain and the XO and maybe the officers get rooms with wooden panel walls that look like a real room. So the officers' rooms are called state rooms.
Wow.
And state rooms, and they look kind of nice. But most rooms are just gray metal walls and they're not attractive at all. So the captain gets a special nice room with thin wooden veneer walls to look more like a normal room.
Yeah, he deserved it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me skip a few. So we can see members of this terrorist group. So they are the guy on the right. You can see a small fire, right? It's a kind of a welding machine, right? We call it welding machine. The guy on the right, and they are what they doing? They are fixing the doors, so you cannot open the door anymore. So they are making like barriers in the ship. So they are dividing ships into like zones, right?
What do you call the weapon he's holding?
I don't know, some rifle maybe.
We call it a machine gun or a submachine gun. It can shoot many bullets continuously. 20 people very quickly.
Okay, they are dressed like formal waiters or something because it was their legend, right? So that's all what I noticed. Some equipment, yeah.
The blowtorch,
yeah, blowtorch, yeah, welding device, yeah, on the right.
In my next lesson in NAIR, I'm going to mention an acetylene blowtorch and a welding machine. So that's in my next lesson.
Good. Okay, so let's skip this one. And they went for Ryback, right? Vasanth. Will they be happy after?
No, he was already setting up some traps inside the freezer room, and he, out of nowhere, how to say, is that a guerrilla attack or ransacking? I don't know the name of that. Somebody attacks you instantly without any.
I would say an ambush maybe or
Yeah,
something.
ambush. Yeah. Mm.
That's not really an ambush. It's just getting ready for an assault.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready? On 1, 2, 3. You know.
But I mean that Ryback already prepared an ambush, so he's waiting for them.
He might be. Yeah, he might have an ambush. Yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm. I can read "stay out" on the door.
Okay. Something to think about is freezers normally are intended only to be opened from the outside. Normally, you would not go inside and close the door. A lot of freezers don't have a doorknob inside. If you go inside and the door closes, you can't get out.
Right.
You could be trapped and die. So this one probably has that kind of a door. You can't get out from the inside. Someone outside has to open the door. So when we in our old days, and maybe even now, we used to throw away refrigerators and old freezers that were like a horizontal refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
And the top, when you close it, the door latches closed. And sometimes kids would find an old freezer or an old refrigerator, and they'd open the door and go inside and close the door. And they died because they couldn't get out and they suffocated.
Literally, nobody can hear them if you scream, right?
Probably not. It would be very, very muffled, very quiet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's actually a trap, right, for them.
So I think we have a law that when you throw away a freezer, you got to either break the door latch or something so that kids can't get trapped inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a sad accident that happens sometimes.
Right.
Okay. Besides, anything else, or would you like me to show another one? Okay, let's go to another one.
I wanted to ask a question.
Please.
What's the device that the soldier is holding that closes the door? It's like how will we call that? A screwdriver.
On the left.
Yeah.
Well, I know this device. In Russian, we call it. We use it to fix a knife. It's not really to sharpen a knife, but to fix a knife. You just get your knife and you just, I don't know.
That we have it's called a whetstone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's used, it's just like a long rod, and you brush a blade along it to sharpen so we can call it a sharpening tool, a knife sharpening tool. Probably what happens is that handle has a hole in it, and if you put something in that hole, the handle can't move and you can't open it.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting because Gerard, it's a nice point. This thing, actually, maybe you heard in Russian we call this whetstone. We call it musat. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe you heard something. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's a Russian name. But this whetstone he made from a special metal. It's very rigid but very fragile. So you can sharpen a knife on it. But if you try to lock the door with it, it will be. You can break it easily, because it's like what we do with iron, we temper it, right? So it's over tempered iron or something like this.
Really? Okay. So brittle, breaks easy. Okay.
Yeah. So it's very rigid, very rigid. You can sharp, but but if you make a hit with it, probably you will break it.
Okay.
Rigid. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, let's skip a few. This one. Vasanth, please describe this one.
Yeah, this is where the bad guys shoot a jet plane. It was trying to helping them. So the base station sent this flight. They commanded the flight to look out for any trouble, but as he was getting closer to the ship, they used the weapon from the ship and shot the plane.
I see, yeah. And we can see this gun right on the right. And we can see Missouri from nice point of view. We can see this, I don't know, decks, all the decks and radars and I don't know what else. So there are a lot of ropes, almost for sails. No. It has like a mast and ropes, and I'm joking about sails.
Those are probably flag lines.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's my favorite moment, Leila. What do you think they do?
No, go ahead, my dear friend. If it is your favorite moment, I am going to listen to you with pleasure.
Yeah, they are actually calling the Pentagon and speaking with the generals, and this guy, he's playing like he's a crazy. He's talking about revolution, about something, about he's making them think that he's totally crazy. So it was his plan, and I like how he did it and how his way of communication. So he was talking and then just hit his mic like. And say, you are not listening to me. You are not listening to me. I'm talking about the new world order, the revolution, and you are talking about what? So it was interesting. Yeah. So generals they were confused. I would say they did not know what to do with him.
Okay.
Yeah. And people around him are giggling or smiling because of that, because they understand that it's a. How we call it? Red herring, right? Actually, so
Red herring. Yeah.
Red herring, yeah. So something that you just use to make them lose the track, decoy distraction. Yeah. So this table, it looks like a table for navigation or something. They had a map, some devices to measure the distance, right? Do you know, Leila, how to measure the distance with this device who looks like a scissors?
Of course.
Because I'm not. You're saying of course, but I don't know. I was about to ask you to teach me.
No, I can't teach you. Not I know, but not much. I know how to use the compass. I know how to. Yes,
the map has a scale. It may say that 1 inch is 20 miles.
Mm-hmm.
So you take your compass and you spread it 20 miles, and then you go 20, 40, 60, 80. This is 80 miles away. Yeah. So the compass is used to walk distances and measure more precisely and quickly.
Literally, if they take my measurements areas into consideration, they fail.
Well, it's interesting how we, like people, making mistakes when we measure distance without equipment, so by own eyes. So if you see there, we say it's 3 centimeters or 5 or 6, but it's actually 10, so we never...
Right?
Yeah, we always make errors, Human is error, right? Something like this.
But in warfare, we need to be more precise. So the compass lets you measure distance precisely.
Is there a special name for people who just measure?
Navigator, maybe.
Navigator, like, I'm thinking of air controllers, and these things are really important.
Yeah. Normally the guy that does the plot's called the navigator or the quartermaster.
Quartermaster. Wow. Gerard, do you remember what they're doing there?
Trying to force the door?
No, they're making signals.
Morse signals.
Yeah. So, and this guy, Tommy Lee Jones, what is this? What is this? It's my favorite crew. So it's Captain Crew.
You know, I think we did mention something important in the movie.
Please.
That the bad guys, they were building or welding a rail system to get the missiles out of the ship to the submarine, because the main purpose of this mission was to get those missiles, nuclear missiles, because they are worth a lot of money. So
yeah, it was in our synopsis. So actually, the reason of attack was to get these tomahawks to sell them on black market. Yeah, it was the reason. Yeah, but it's strange for me, you know, Gerard, if you buy a tomahawk, can you launch it? What do you think?
Well, some countries, poor countries, like for instance, North Korea would like to have those missiles very much and would pay a good amount of money.
Yeah, maybe for investigation, for researching how it works.
If you have a nuclear weapon, you have a way to threat someone, you know?
Yeah.
That's the reason like Iran wants to have nuclear weapons, so they have more power.
Yeah.
Like right. Israel has, but they say they don't have, but it's the power they have.
Okay,
one of our fears is that a terrorist organization will obtain a nuclear bomb. If you watch the James Bond movie Thunderball, the bad guys stole a nuclear bomb from an airplane, and they were going to sneak it into a city and blow up a city with the nuclear bomb secretly and quietly. That's what we fear will happen someday if we don't control nuclear weapons very carefully.
Yeah. You'd better do, right? We don't want more nuclear countries anymore, right? It's enough for now.
I mean, can you imagine if someone had a nuclear bomb and they sneaked it into Moscow on a truck, and then one day, boom, Moscow's gone, you know? It's dangerous. A lot of people could die. I mean, it's a serious problem.
Well, it's an interesting problem because, you know, some nowadays in the world, okay, let me stop sharing because we again run out of time. So nowadays there are countries who have a nuclear weapon and who don't have, right? And they say, why we cannot? Why cannot we? Why can you? And why cannot we? And it's a reasonable question, by the way. But people who have nuclear weapons, they start to try to restrict others, right? So there are a lot of like international agreements and constrictions, but...
Well, if you think about it, if everyone's got nuclear weapons, some of those people are going to misuse them.
Yep.
So when something is a doomsday machine, you don't want everyone to have a doomsday machine. You got to control it to a small number of sane people.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we ran out of time, but it was a good movie. I watched it before. I guess it's, as teacher said, it has some sequels, maybe one or two, I don't remember, one at least. And there are some fights, interesting fights. Leila, you might enjoy it. And we continue our, Navy topic.
Okay.
And tough guy movie. It's the old flavor of movie where the good guys always win and the bad guys always die in a horrible manner. So makes you feel good.
Literally, every time you understand me, thank you. I just need some peace, at least while watching films.
Okay, we haven't chosen next movie, so please write your suggestion in the chat if you have one. And thank you very much for coming, and see you next week.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.